I have a perfect record with women. 41 consecutive correct predictions, every one of them the identical prediction, and every one of them confirmed. The finding is always the same, because the method is sound, and the method is sound because every other man alive is running on feelings, and feelings are weather. I am running on a method, and a method is physics. A man texts back the second his phone lights up because his thumb is happy. I have never texted back while happy, or while sad, or within 4 hours of any stimulus whatsoever. A measurement does not have a mood. A thumb is not a hypothesis. It is 4 years long now. I reached the conclusion on page 2, and I have spent every page since confirming it. The man with 40 girlfriends does not understand women. He has the most contaminated sample in the building. I have the cleanest sample in the building, and the building contains no one looking for me. And the data on me specifically is strong. I have run my own numbers against the market, soberly, twice, and I come out high, tall enough, employed. A full head of hair I maintain on a written protocol. By every metric that ought to clear, I am a buy. I am not unwanted. I am underpriced. That is a market error, and markets reprice. Here is the core theorem, the one the whole notebook stands on. A woman texts you. Your entire body wants to answer her, warmly, immediately. That want is the experiment trying to bias the experimenter, and the only correct move is to wait. If she texts again, the wait worked. If she never texts again, she failed the wait. I built an instrument with 2 readings, and both of them say you were right. Because everything she says is data, and across 4 years I have reduced all of it down to 2 signals. A test you pass by saying nothing, and a test you pass by saying less. There is no third signal. I searched for a third signal for 2 years. The searching was itself a form of saying nothing, so even my literature review passed. For each subject I keep a full record. Date, duration, what she said, what I returned, the exact percentage, the latency before her reply. Numbers run down the margin in a hand so small the page looks load-bearing. I have more pages on some women than I have minutes of having ever touched one. And I keep the instrument clean, which means I keep myself clean. No spent focus, no energy leaked on a result I have not yet designed. A serious laboratory is a sterile field, and I have maintained a sterile field for a remarkably long time. Other men call that a dry spell. A dry spell is weather. This is climate control. I have never been rejected in my life. I have, on occasion, failed to reject the null. My largest sample to date is a woman named Dana, who came to my apartment 3 Sundays in a row, which in my discipline is a longitudinal study. She was under the impression that we were dating. I knew that we were a trial, and a trial does not catch feelings for its subject, no matter how the apartment sounds when she is in it. She would say something warm and completely true, and I would take it, run it through the method, and hand her back a calibrated 40% of myself. Never a point over 40, which contaminates the result. Never a point under 40, which ends the study early. There is one variable I have never fully controlled, and rigor requires that I disclose it. A subject behaves differently the instant she learns she is being observed. And the instant she learns she is being observed is, in every trial to date, the instant I explain the entire method to her, at the table, with the notebook open between us. A weaker scientist would decline to show her the notebook. I show her the notebook. I show every subject the notebook, open to her own page, and I watch her read the percentage I have been assigning her since Sunday 1, and I record what her face does, in the margin, as data. I have never once finished recording the expression. They tend to leave before the entry is complete. Transparency is the bedrock of all good science. I have laid it under every room I own, and every one of those rooms now stands perfectly level and perfectly empty. Now every method has one anomaly it has to survive, and mine is named Wes. Wes texted the woman who is now his wife back in 4 minutes. He told her he liked her on the second date, out loud, sober, lights on, and he has been happy for 4 years. By my notebook, Wes Is Impossible. Wes won the lottery, sat down, and wrote a book about how to pick the numbers. A lesser method shatters against a Wes. Mine simply files him under noise, because Wes is not a counterexample. Wes is the one winner the casino frames in the lobby, so the other 400 players keep feeding the machine in the dark. Wes is not happy. Wes is signage. I explained the casino to Wes, in full, the lobby and the 400, and he laughed, and then he stopped, and he asked me when the last time was that I had let one person get close enough to actually leave. A flawless control test, from a married man, they run them in their sleep. I keep a whole cohort of married friends, and I attend their barbecues as the control group. They stand in their yards holding their children and comparing their mortgages, convinced they are happy. And I am not alone in the work, which is the part outsiders never expect. There is a whole community of us, researchers in the same field, and we convene every night in a forum to present our findings. Hundreds of men, each running his own 4-year study, each with his own notebook, each arriving at the identical result and posting it to the others for review. We do not call it lonely, we call it the literature. And the literature grows every night, one man at a time, each of us alone at his own desk, contributing to a body of work whose single replicated field-defining conclusion is that the work is going extremely well. The apps run on the same method, of course, because a market is a market. The first law of a market is that you never accept the first offer, you hold out for the better one, you stay liquid. And do not read the empty calendar as scarcity. The abundance is total. The options are vast. They are theoretical and unenrolled and have not yet been informed, but a true abundance mindset has never required the options to actually exist. A rotation of 0 is the only rotation that never cancels on you. My inclusion criteria are simply rigorous, that is all. To enter the study, a candidate has to clear a checklist I have refined across 4 years, item by item, down to a single laminated page no applicant has ever reached the bottom of. The last applicant failed at the screening stage on a single disqualifying observation, which was that she asked me a second question about myself and then waited, openly, for the answer. A woman that interested in the subject can no longer be trusted to observe me at a neutral distance. A law that holds at my kitchen table holds at every table, because that is what makes it a law and not a mood. So the same method that runs my Saturday runs the species. The birth rate, the lonely men. A whole planet holding out for a better offer the math has already quietly canceled. I did not set out to explain the decline of the West. It came free in the box with explaining my weekend. And no living person has ever argued me out of any of it, which I file as the strongest confirmation a theory can receive. You cannot lose a debate you never agreed to attend. My mother calls every Sunday and asks if I have met anyone. I tell her the study is ongoing and that I cannot release findings before peer review. She asks who the peers are. I have not located any, which is itself a finding. Which brings me back to Dana and the third Sunday, the one that completed the sample. She did not run a single test that day. She just said it, flat, with no maneuver anywhere in it. She said, I keep handing you something real and you keep handing me back a percentage, and I think you built this entire method so that you would never once have to find out whether somebody would stay. There was no page in the notebook for that. No row, no column, nothing it resembled. So I did the only thing the method allows a man to do with data that will not fit the model. I labeled it the most advanced test I had ever personally received, and I passed it the way I have passed all of them, by handing her nothing, correctly, on purpose, while she found her coat. That night, I opened the notebook to the next blank line, the way I do every night to record the day's finding. And I want to be accurate about this, because accuracy is the last instrument I have not had to give back. The pen was already on the page, and for 1 second I did not want to write a finding. I wanted to write her name there, on the open line, in the permanent log, and make the next 4 years go somewhere the first 4 years did not. But a man does not falsify his own study because the lab has gone quiet. The method is not wrong simply because it is the only one left in the room. So I wrote the date, and I wrote the finding, which was the same finding it is every night, and I underlined it once, because a result this consistent has earned the line. The few who get close enough always ask the same thing. They ask what the result is, the word written at the bottom of every page. They expect it to say alone. It does not say alone. A quitter writes alone. I ran the method out to the last decimal, wrote the true word, and underlined it twice so that no weaker version of me could ever come back and pretend it had said something softer. The result is correct. I am the most correct man I have ever met. And by the method's own careful count, I have met almost no one, which is, and has always been, the exact sample size that a result this clean requires.